I'm not black. I'm OJ. Okay. Yes, OJ Simpson, his name brought up recently as he was given a tribute at the BET Awards. And a lot of people who didn't agree with that, didn't support that, were in the news, especially Stephen A. Smith. People who didn't think that that tribute was warranted, that he didn't deserve to be up there with other distinguished black people. Okay, so that was the conversation this week. Now, I didn't watch the BET Awards. I haven't watched them in a long time just because I don't think they show the full circumference of the black experience. I think they lean too heavy into the ratchet, into the ghetto, into the wild. And I used to go to BET Awards maybe a couple times, and I was like, no more. One, it takes too long if you're there. You know how it goes. Commercial breaks are fun when you're home. They suck when you're there. And two, I just like the whole black experience as it really is, not as they slant it to be. You want a cherry on top? BET ain't even owned by black people, so I'm like, I'm really off. Like, what are y'all talking about? You imagine, let me stop. You imagine if they had the white awards and it was owned by black people? Like, you would just be like, why? Y'all got black rich people. Buy that damn. Anyway, let's go. So Stephen A. Smith caught himself in some fire. Who cares? Like, it's just opinions. It's polarizing. It's good. On the Stephen A. Smith show, saw this. Didn't see the BET Awards. So I want to get into this because Stephen A. Smith is saying some things that we need to talk about, because we got the itty bitty. So let's see what Stephen A. Smith is talking about with OJ.
Clearly, everyone didn't approve of that. Clearly, most people were shocked by that, and they should be. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to call it like we see it. In the eyes of most people, regardless of an acquittal, OJ Simpson is a double murderer. Yes, he ultimately was convicted in a civil trial and obliged to pay $33.5 million to the Goldman family, which he never really did till the day he died. Never happened. But we all viewed him as a double murderer. He was ostracized and considered a pariah by the vast majority of American citizens. Why? Because regardless of what people want us to believe, unlike most situations, unfortunately, we saw the trial.
Okay, let me stop right there. Okay. Objective and subjective. We got to have those conversations. Because subjectively, you can have your opinion about OJ Simpson. You can say, he did it. He did it. Look, come on, man. Like, use your brain, common sense. You go all those places, right? But then somebody can come down with the hammer and say, objectively, he was found not guilty, right? Not the same as innocence. We're not going to go through all of that in the semantics, but not guilty. In a country where you're innocent until proven guilty, he was proven not guilty. Despite me even having a tug of war or turmoil about decisions, I will always lean to the objective, because if not, that's how you have the Wild Wild West. That's how you all of a sudden have it. Everyone's opinion matter more than the facts. We got to have something that universally levels us out, and that's the objective facts. Not necessarily the truth always, because people get into versions of their truth and try to marry that to the truth. But the truth is not guilty. So when we hear statements like this, that most people or all people thought that he was guilty or he did it, I wouldn't let that come out of my mouth. I wouldn't agree with that. Okay. Next point on that was interesting. We saw the trial. Now, a lot of people said they saw the trial, and I think the trial was like 15 months. I know people because I know myself. Ain't no damn person that I know, that y'all know, anybody watched that whole damn trial. Even if you checked in every day, did you give it the 8, 10, 12 hours they gave it in court? 2, 3 hours? Whatever it may have been. Every day? Or did you just catch the highlights? If it don't fit, must have quit. Oh, he's a racist cop. You put 3 highlights together and say you saw the whole game. Not a single soul, none of y'all watched that whole trial. No. Matter of fact, I don't even know if the family watched every single day of that trial. Like, raise your hand, person out there, other than the lawyers that was there every single day. And maybe some of the lawyers were gone because they had to do other things, discovery, etc., interviews. Who knows? Point being, come on, y'all. Talking about working with scraps and trying to make it a meal. Sounds like that. But we're not done because I love to find truth and be a social psychologist, if I may, by using what's happening in the world, current events, real time, real talk. So let's see what else occurred, because obviously Stephen A. Smith was in some hot water, people would say, whatever that is. Makes great food, hot water. And he said some other comments that had people outraged. So let's check those comments out.
My attitude is this. OJ Simpson never gave a shit about black people until he was indicted. Never gave a damn. You know, you look at Jay-Z's album, I'm not black, I'm OJ. Okay. That was what OJ said. I ain't black, I'm OJ. Never gave a damn. Never gave a damn about black folks until he was indicted on murder charges. Never gave a damn about black folks until he was ostracized, by and large, by society as a whole. Never gave a damn. And it just amazes me how we would sit up there and I'm looking at it, forget the fact that in memoriam he was celebrated, he was mentioned.
Woo, I should have stopped with never gave a damn. Because, boy, damn. Impossible to measure, impossible to know what OJ gave a damn about. A lot of people saying, oh, man, as soon as he made some money and did the Hertz commercial, oh, man, he never hung around black people in the black community, never did anything. And then have y'all seen that recently on the internet? A picture of Ahmad Rashad's wedding and his best men. And they were joking because his best men were like, his groomsmen, I should say, was like Bill Cosby and OJ Simpson, etc. Ahmad Rashad's a brother. OJ Simpson was there. This is a slippery slope because you can go there and be like, see, he ain't doing enough for us, so he don't care about us. But regardless of how he is, let me give you the extremes. Regardless if OJ never gave a damn about black people, never did anything in the black community, never showed you any of his work in the black community, guess what? He's still black. And that is a part of the total black experience, right? Just like we see it on the flip side. You ever see a white person? And I grew up with one. White Mike and Tim. Grew up around all black people. White people could say and be correct in a lot of ways from their vantage point. Y'all don't give a damn about white people because all they did was black things. Everything, including gangbang, one of them. I mean, everything. Black, music, dating, girlfriend, wife, everything black. Let me step in it before I look like I'm accusing anybody or coming down hard on Stephen A. I remember when Colin Kaepernick, popped in terms of his protest and everybody had their opinions on it. Obviously, if you know me or been following me, I wasn't too fond of the protests. I didn't like how he was doing it. I liked what he was trying to say, but how he got there, I was like, I thought it was going to fizzle out. From day one, I was like, this is not the way. This won't magnify. This won't amplify. This won't be as big as it could be. But it was still big, so who am I? But the one thing that I did that I need to be slapped in the face for is because a lot of times when somebody does something that you disagree with, because we're all loaded to find information that supports our beliefs, and I believe that Colin Kaepernick wasn't doing enough with the protest for us, for our community, for the underserved. All I looked for was evidence of that. despite him doing work, despite him doing good things, his foundation, etc. And the things I don't know. Now, Colin Kaepernick and I have a mutual friend in Ben Horowitz, and we've seen each other several times. And Van Lathan, I've seen him several times. We spoke briefly, one of those loose handshakes, like, I don't know about you, dog. You know what I'm saying? That's how it was kind of like mutual. But love, in terms of like, ain't nobody about to beef, ain't nobody about to throw hands, etc. We're going to show respect. But just like Stephen A. said, oh, you ain't doing something for this, so therefore you ain't. Who am I to say that about Colin Kaepernick? And more importantly, who is Stephen A. to say that about OJ? I don't know what OJ was doing in the 80s. Do you? Most of y'all weren't even born. Were you with him, Stephen A.? Nah. And here's another thing. Now, I said to both extremes. What if OJ was doing everything for the black community? You would look at his death, you would look at his not guilty status differently, you would support him more. Why? I thought not guilty was about an act committed or not committed. Not how you feel about somebody, not how they disrespected you or didn't live out a life you wanted them to live or didn't use their powers the way you wanted them to, like I thought about Colin. It ain't about none of that. It's about, did he do that or not? Do they have the evidence to show it or not? He walks in there saying, hey, prove it. We all know there's a different conversation. Did you do it or can you prove it? So I just thought that was interesting. I don't look at black people like that. You know how I look at black people? You black, you black. Right? Now, experience, different. Everyone has a different black experience. That's why I'm stepping in it on Colin Kaepernick. And Stephen A. needs to step in it and realize, stop judging OJ, especially because he's gone. We say rest in peace to people. Stephen A., others, rest in peace to all the other people who were memorialized, who were given tribute during the BET Awards, but not OJ. Last, I want to end with this. I grew up fascinated with OJ for two reasons. One, my first football ever, I ended up being a football player, was an orange football named Orange Juice Simpson. I'm about to say Jones. Orange Juice. It was called the Juice. It was an orange football. Did I love that football? Then when I got that football, I knew who he was. I said, Daddy, I want to see him. Then I saw some clips and, some videos or whatever we was watching on VCR. Saw OJ play. Cool. The second reason, and y'all better not try and steal this from this man. That was the first transcendent athlete star that I knew, especially black. But the first one I knew, period, white, yellow, brown. Like, he was the first one. Then, you get older, you start hearing about other people like Merlin Olsen played. You're like, really? Stuff like that. But OJ was the first one. Commercials, movies. Come on. Living that life. I don't know. If he is in Ahmad Rashad's wedding, let's just say he knows somebody black. He doing something black. You know what I mean? But the point is, none of us are in a position to talk for all of us, and especially about somebody who is not even here to defend themselves. So I had to start with me to make sure y'all don't know. This is what this channel is. We talk through it. We're going to talk about it. So make sure you guys can help and support, educate and empower the underserved, especially through exclusive experiences by going right here, projecttransition.org. Support that. All right, love. Let me know what y'all think. Beat it up in the comments. Talk that trash. Beat us up. Let us know what to do. Talking about that thing, boy.